You can write JavaScript. You know variables, functions, loops, but your code lives in the console. It can't touch the page. Click a button, nothing happens. Submit a form, the page just refreshes. The missing piece is the DOM, the document object model. The DOM is how JavaScript talks to HTML. Every element on the page, every heading, every paragraph, every button is a node in a tree that JavaScript can read, change, create, and destroy. In this video, you'll learn what the DOM actually is and how browsers build it. How to select elements with getElementById and querySelector. How to create, modify, and remove elements dynamically. How events work, from clicks to keyboard input to event delegation, and how to handle forms, validate input, and prevent unwanted page reloads. By the end, you'll build TaskFlow's task list entirely with JavaScript, adding tasks, toggling completion, deleting them, and filtering by status. When a browser loads an HTML file, it doesn't just display it, it parses the HTML and builds a tree structure in memory. That tree is the DOM. The document object is the root. Under it sits the HTML element. Under HTML, you have head and body. Under body, you have divs, paragraphs, buttons. Every tag becomes a node. Text inside a tag becomes a text node. Even comments become nodes. This tree structure is why we call it the document object model. Each node is an object with properties and methods you can call from JavaScript. The document object is your entry point. Document.title gives you the page title. Document.body gives you the body element. Document.head gives you the head element. Every element node has properties like parent node, child nodes, first child, last child, next sibling, and previous sibling. These let you navigate the tree in any direction. Parent to child, child to parent, sibling to sibling. The DOM is life. When you change it with JavaScript, the page updates immediately. Add a new element to the tree, it appears on screen. Remove one, it disappears. Change text content, the user sees the change instantly. This is what makes web pages interactive. Before you can change an element, you need to find it. The DOM gives you several selection methods. getElementById takes an ID string and returns the single element with that ID. Document.getElementById parentheses quote app close quote. IDs must be unique, so this always returns one element or null. It's the fastest selection method because IDs are indexed by the browser. querySelector takes any CSS selector and returns the first match. Document.querySelector parentheses quote dot task card close quote. This finds the first element with the class task card. You can use any CSS selector, class selectors, attribute selectors, combinators. querySelector is the most flexible selection method. querySelectorAll returns all matching elements as a node list. Document.querySelectorAll parentheses quote dot task card close quote. A node list looks like an array but isn't one. You can loop over it with for each or convert it to an array with array.from. getElementsByClassName and getElementsByTagName return live HTML collections. Live means they update automatically when the DOM changes. querySelector results are static. They're a snapshot at the time you call them. For most cases, use querySelector and querySelectorAll. They're flexible, readable, and use the same selectors you already know from CSS. Once you have an element, you can change it. Text content sets or gets the plain text inside an element. Element.textContent equals quote hello world close quote. This replaces all text inside the element, including text in child elements. Text content is safe. It treats everything as plain text, never as HTML. innerHTML sets or gets the HTML inside an element. Element.innerHTML equals quote less than strong, greater than bold close tag close quote. innerHTML parses the string as HTML and renders it. But here's the danger. If you put user input into innerHTML, you open the door to cross-site scripting attacks known as XSS. A malicious user could inject a script tag that runs arbitrary code on your page. Rule of thumb: use textContent for text. Only use innerHTML when you control the content. ClassList lets you add, remove, and toggle CSS classes. Element.ClassList.add parenthesis quote completed close quote. Element.ClassList.remove parenthesis quote active close quote. Element.ClassList.toggle parenthesis quote hidden close quote. Toggle adds the class if it's missing, removes it if it's present. Set attribute and get attribute handle any HTML attribute. Element.set attribute parenthesis quote disabled comma true close quote. For styles, use element.style.property. Element.style.background color equals quote blue close quote, but prefer ClassList over inline styles. Classes keep styling in CSS where it belongs. The DOM becomes truly interactive through events. An event is something that happens: a click, a key press, a form submission, a page load. addEventListener attaches a handler function to an element. Button.addEventListener parenthesis quote click comma function. The first argument is the event type. The second is the callback function. When the event fires, the browser calls your function and passes an event object. The event object contains information about what happened. Event.target is the element that triggered the event. Event.type tells you which event it was. Event.preventDefault stops the default browser behavior. Events don't just fire on the element you clicked. They travel through the DOM. This is called event propagation, and it has two phases. Capturing phase: the event travels down from the document to the target element. Bubbling phase: the event travels back up from the target to the document. By default, addEventListener listens during the bubbling phase. Event delegation uses bubbling to handle events efficiently. Instead of adding a listener to every task card, add one listener to the parent container. When a card is clicked, the event bubbles up to the container. Check event.target to find which card was actually clicked. This is faster, uses less memory, and works for elements added later. Event delegation is the professional pattern for dynamic lists. Forms are the main way users send data to your application. Every form input has a value property. Input.value gives you what the user typed. Select.value gives you the selected option. Checkbox.checked gives you true or false. When a form is submitted, the browser sends a request and reloads the page. In single-page applications, you don't want that. Event.preventDefault stops the page reload. Form.addEventListener parenthesis quote submit comma function event. Event.preventDefault parenthesis. Now you can handle the data with JavaScript instead. For validation, check values before processing. If the input is empty, show an error message. If the email format is wrong, show a warning. You can use input.setCustomValidity for browser native validation messages, or build your own validation with ClassList and error messages. The Form Data API is a cleaner way to get all form values at once. New form data parenthesis form gives you an object with all field values. Form data.get parenthesis quote title close quote returns the value of the title field. Use form data when you have many fields. Use .value for simple single field forms. Let's put it all together and build TaskFlow's task list with pure DOM manipulation. First, the structure. A form at the top to add new tasks. 3 filter tabs, all, active, and completed. And a task list container that holds task cards dynamically. Adding a task. Listen for the form's submit event. Prevent the default reload. Get the input value. Create a new div with createElement. Add classes with classList. Set the inner content with a checkbox, task text, and delete button. Append it to the task list with append child. Clear the input. Toggling completion. Use event delegation on the task list container. When a checkbox is clicked, toggle the completed class on the parent card. The card visually changes to show it's done. Deleting a task. Also event delegation. When the delete button is clicked, call element.remove on the parent card. The card disappears from the DOM immediately. Filtering by status. Each tab gets a click listener. Get all task cards. Check each card's class list for completed. Show or hide cards based on the active filter using the hidden class. All tab shows everything. Active hides completed. Completed hides active. No frameworks, no libraries, just the DOM API. This is how every framework works under the hood. Let's recap what you learned. The DOM is a tree representation of your HTML that JavaScript can manipulate. Selection with getElementById for single elements, querySelector for CSS selectors, and querySelectorAll for multiple matches. Modification with textContent for safe text, classList for CSS classes, and innerHTML only when you control the content. Events with addEventListener, the event object, and event delegation for dynamic lists. Forms with value properties, preventDefault, and the form data API. And we built TaskFlow's complete task interface with pure DOM manipulation. In the next video, we'll tackle async JavaScript, callbacks, promises, and async await. See you in the next one.